Hello, today I want to talk about a simple strategy that I use that I call rest in order to regroup, refresh my mind, and start off on a more positive note. Now, the truth is, life is constantly turning and changing, and it's throwing obstacles and hurdles and burdens and overwhelmness, if that's even a word, across our path. And so here we are, we're walking and we're cruising, we're having a good time, and then boom, before you know it, foreclosure, or boom, before you know it, job loss, or boom, before you know it, divorce, or your kids moving out of the house, or being an empty nester, or whatever it may be. We have all of these changes that continue to come our way. And it's easy to become overwhelmed. More importantly, it's easy to kind of throw in the towel and give up on life altogether or give up on fighting back. But I want to share a strategy that I use in my personal life and I've shared with my clients, and it's super simple. You can use it in the moment to help me overcome the overwhelm. So again, the word is rest, and it's an acronym. And so the first letter in the acronym of rest is R, and R stands for reflect. So when you're in the moment and you're overwhelmed and you're stressed and you're angry, you're bitter, you're mad, you're sad, you're all these emotions, instead of allowing yourself to be led by the moments, take a moment to just rest. And what I mean by that is being still with your thoughts. So the first letter is R, which is reflect. So take a moment to reflect on what's happening in your life. What are you feeling? Why are you feeling that way? When did you notice these changes? What do you think that this means for your life? Just reflect on the entire situation. Many of my clients will use this opportunity as a chance to journal, as a chance to see a counselor or a coach to kind of vent and reflect and get feedback. The next step is to evaluate your emotions. So I'm a firm believer that our life is a reflection of our thoughts. Two people could go through the exact same situation and have totally different outcomes. And that's because of what they believe about the situation. And so I want you to take a moment and I want you to evaluate your emotions and your thoughts. What do you believe about this situation? What are the emotions that you're feeling, and why are you feeling these things? When you take time to evaluate your thought, a lot of times you'll understand that there's something below the surface. So for example, you may be really, really emotional about your ex not answering your phone call, right? And that's really stressing you out. It's really overwhelming you. But what it really is it reminds you of a time that you didn't hear from your previous ex who was a cheater, or you didn't hear from your previous ex who got into a car accident or whatever. And so when you dig below the surface, you start to see that there's sometimes triggers from other situations that you weren't totally healed from to begin with. And so when you take time to evaluate those emotions, then you can start to reframe those emotions and look at them from a different lens. The truth about emotions, and I've shared this in several other videos, is that there is nothing wrong with any emotion, right? I could say anger. There's nothing wrong with anger. And a lot of us believe that anger is a negative or a bad emotion. It's not. Anger is simply anger. But what you do with that angry feeling or that anger is what makes it a good or a bad emotion. If you're angry and you process and reflect and journal and talk to a friend or talk to your coach, that's a positive way to handle your anger. And then there's nothing wrong with that anger. If you're angry and then you decide that you are going to go on social media and bash a person, then that's probably a really negative way. Or if you start like being really nasty to yourself and say mean things to yourself, that's probably not a healthy way to handle anger. But again, anger in of itself in a container, there's nothing wrong with it. It's what we do with that emotion. So take some time to evaluate your emotions and your thoughts and your beliefs about the situation. What do you believe about this situation? Why do you believe this situation is happening? What do you believe that this situation could possibly teach you? Why do you think that you're responding that way emotionally in response to that situation? The third letter is S. Now, this is probably the hardest because we are in such a fast-paced world where everything is go, go, go. And we have all these things vying for our time and our attention, and we want to be on this quick pace world, so to speak, on this quick pace wheel and spinning almost like a hamster in its wheel, right? But the S stands for sit still or silence your thoughts. And so The truth is, the way anxiety works, and a lot of us struggle with anxiety when we're dealing with some life transition or change or something traumatic, is our brain keeps us on this spiral. Our brain keeps us, oh, what about this? Oh, what about this? And it makes you focus on the past. It makes you focus on the on the future, but it doesn't keep you in the moment. And the truth is, you can't control the past. You can't change anything about it, nor can you prevent anything that may happen. So getting consumed in your worry or getting consumed in your bitterness from the past is not going to help you. When you're able to silence your thoughts and to sit still, then you're able to focus on the here and the now, because ultimately that's the only thing that matters, and that's the only thing that you can shift. This is why mindfulness has become such a powerful practice, because a lot of people get so focused on the future and so focused on the past, and they need to be in the here and the now. And so the best way to sit still with yourself and to silence those thoughts is to be mindful. And so I'll just run through a really, really quick practice that you can do, and it involves all of your senses. So you can say, what do I see? And you identify, like right now, I see my chimney, I see my fireplace. What do you smell? I smell outside air because I have my windows open and it's fresh and it's clean. What do you taste? I taste the milkshake that I just, or the protein shake that I just drank before doing this video. What do you feel? And it could be anything. So I could feel my pants. I could feel the ground or the wood underneath my feet. So you want to go, and then what do you hear? I hear myself talking. I hear a little bit of birds chirping. I hear these things. And so you want to take a moment to silence yourself and silence those thoughts that you can't control, that you're perseverating on, that are overwhelming you, that are frustrating you, that are hurting you, and to silence your mind and your body to focus on what's real. I'm going to say that again. You want to silence it so you can focus on what's real. And sometimes you may need to cycle through that activity more than once. You may do that activity and it starts to calm you, and then you try it again. You do that activity again because it's going to make you even more calm. But the purpose and the premise of that activity is for you to be mindful of your environment and what's happening in the now, and not necessarily overwhelmed with your worry or overwhelmed with your bitterness from the past. This is a great practice, but again, it's one of the most difficult things to do because it feels more natural to tune into your thoughts. It feels more natural to listen to your anxiety or to your worry. It feels more natural to get up and get busy. But the best thing you can do on this journey and during this healing process and this reflection process is to be still. Life will always have something for you to do, but I firmly believe that we don't have enough time in our life that we are able to be still. And so I think that that's so important. I'm a firm believer that some of the biggest problems we have as humans in general is our unwillingness to be still with our thoughts. And there's so much that your body can teach you, and there's so much that you can learn if you just take a moment and you're still and you're able to focus on the here and the now and not so overwhelmed with things that are outside of your control. The fourth letter is T, okay? And this is to transform your thoughts. So it is super, super easy to stay in this rut of negative thinking. It's super, super easy to stay in this rut of being controlled and overwhelmed with all your difficult emotions. But what if I told you that you had power to master those emotions, that you had power to push past those thoughts? The truth is, I wouldn't be saying that just for decoration. It's true. We have so much power, and unfortunately, we are unwilling to step into that power. We are unwilling to acknowledge that that power exists within ourselves. And so the best thing that you can do for yourself is to step into that power and transform your thinking and thoughts regarding the situation or the experience that you're going through. Now, the truth is, there's an old saying, and I could not agree more, but if you transform your thoughts, you will literally transform your life. Remember, I shared earlier in the video that two people could go through the exact same situation and have totally different outcomes simply based on their thoughts or their beliefs about the situation. And so the same goes for you. If you believe that your divorce is taking over your life and that you'll never love again and that this is the worst thing that happened to you, your divorce will be the worst thing that will happen to you. It'll take over your life and you'll never live again because that's what you believe. If you believe that your divorce was a lesson learned and an opportunity for you to grow more into who you are and to work on personal development, and that eventually when you get into a new relationship, it'll be the healthiest relationship of your life, then that's exactly what your life will reflect. But it first begins here. It begins in your thoughts. Think about it. I'll just take something simple. Like sometimes I have the habit of waking up and I'll be like, oh, I'm so tired. I'm going to be so annoyed during the day. And before you know it, I'm annoyed because someone cut me off in traffic. I'm annoyed because maybe my kids weren't listening to me in the morning routine and getting off to school on time. I'm annoyed because someone said something that I assume has something to do with me. But again, I made a choice to be annoyed. I woke up and stated that and claimed that over my life. You know, a lot of Christians, us as Christians, will say we speak things into existence. There's a lot of power in the tongue. And so we have to watch what we believe about our thoughts, because our thoughts become our words and our words become our actions, and our actions in turn become our life. And so you have to be willing and ready to step in to your power in order to transform your life. Step in to your power to master those emotions. Step in to your power to allow yourself to believe something different. Now, this is not easy, right? It's easy to fall into the negative thinking. It's easy to fall into the rut because we've ultimately made a habit out of it. And so this is something that comes with practice. This rest strategy that I use it regularly. When I am going through something traumatic, it may be something that I'm using daily. Sometimes I'm using it in the morning and at night. And I think that actually is the best thing to do, because in the morning, it informs my steps. And at night, it informs my dreams, which in turn informs my morning. And so it just keeps me on this positive cycle that sets me up for success. And so when you're committing to this rest strategy, I suggest that you start making it a regular practice, because you have to think, however old you are, 30, 40, 50, 60, or 20, whatever, 70, 80, 90, or 100, that's how many years you have spent allowing yourself to think in a certain way. That's how many years you have spent not acknowledging that you have power and not stepping in to your power. That's how many years that you have allowed yourself to stay in this cycle and to believe that your way of thinking is working for you. And I'm just going to be real, because that's what I do. Your way of thinking is not helping you. It's not benefiting you. It's not pushing you any closer to where you desire to be. And so you have to be willing to step into that power, make those shifts in your thinking, in your words, and in your actions, so that in turn, you can shift your life. A lot of us like to believe that bad things happen to us and it's, oh, woe is me. But I like to shift it and think, why not me? What can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? How can I become a better version of me from this experience? My shirt alone, this is one of my favorite sayings, but it says, use what broke you and allow it to build you. The very things that knock us on our face, that knock us on the ground, that set us a million steps back, are the things that we can use to propel us in the direction of our success. But it first begins with your thinking. If you are going through a traumatic experience currently and you're wondering how you can push through, how you can heal, how you can move forward, how you can recover, how you can restore your life, then I have wonderful news for you. I have a totally free 4-day Choose Healing course. Now, I want you to notice the name of it, Choose Healing, because I don't want people in here that want me to just heal them, right? I want you to choose to be in this course because you desire to step into your power, acknowledging that it's simply as simple as a decision. You can make a decision to make healing a priority in your life. If you are ready to make that decision and you're ready to make healing a priority in your life, then sign up using the link below. Through this 4-day course, you'll get 4 days of support, practical strategies, much like what I shared today, that will walk you through how to heal your hurt and find the life that you love and to live the life that you love. I have so many people that have joined, so many people that have made amazing progress with it. All we're waiting for is you. And the best news is it's totally free. So it's the best step that you can take that your future self will thank you for. So make sure you sign up using the link below. And until next time, I will chat with you later. Bye, guys.